Hi everyone! First, thank you so much for listening to my proposal. I really look forward to the opportunity to do business with you. So what we're talking about today is the networking update for River Community Church. So let's just get started. First, a little bit about me. My name is Brooke Hager. I am attending Fort Hays State University. I'm going to graduate in May. I have been majoring in information networking and telecommunications. So what that means is that I specialize in providing network infrastructure and support for your business, whether it's large or small, anywhere from the beginning stages of planning out your network and installing new equipment to configuring it all to work together to troubleshooting when an issue comes along. I have experience with web design and graphic design as well. I actually have an associate's degree in graphic design. And then I also have some experience with coding languages like HTML and Python. But for this particular project, we have some goals that we're going to talk about. The first goal is to provide infrastructure for the new construction. So with the building project that you're doing, since you're adding square footage, there's going to be that part of the new building where the wireless network is not going to reach all the way out to those new areas. So what we want to do is we want to run cables through the ceiling and install new wireless access points for that. Our second goal is we want to update some old equipment that you have. We want to update your switch so that it can accommodate the whole new project. And then our third goal is we want to simplify future maintenance. So the devices that we've chosen have a really easy to use technique for managing those networks. So that'll just make it a little bit easier on you in the future. If a problem ever comes up or arises, you should be able to easily maintain this network. So getting into the details a little bit more, number one, we're going to be installing 3 new wireless access points, like I said. And the next slide is going to be a diagram of approximately where I think that they should go in the new building. But this is so that we can have wireless access in that new area of the church. We're going to be using the Ubiquiti UniFi 6 long-range access points. Those devices are going to provide a really nice large area for the network access. And then we're also going to be running new Ethernet cables to the access points. So we're going to be running cables from the switch through the ceiling into those access points so that instead of having your computer wired to an Ethernet cable itself, you can just use that wireless access point and log on to the Wi-Fi. Number 2, we're going to be installing a new switch. The switch that you currently have right now has 18 ports. Those are almost all filled up. So with the new devices that we're adding, we're going to need some more ports. And then also just so we can have a couple empty ones, just in case for the future you want to add anything else, or I don't know, one stops working. We want to have extras for just in case. So the switch that we've chosen is the Ubiquiti UniFi switch with 24 ports, and this switch also uses power over Ethernet, which was one of the things that you asked for at the beginning. So with your current switch right now, it does not support power over Ethernet, which means that in order to power all of the wireless access points, you have to have an extra little device called an injector that runs power to those through the Ethernet cables. With this switch, you won't need those injectors anymore. You'll simply need the Ethernet cables, and it will run the Ethernet and the power through those cables, so it'll just simplify everything for you. And then number 3, we have, we're going to configure the network devices to all work together. So the new network is going to work seamlessly with your existing network. And the brand that we've chosen, Ubiquiti, has a really easy to use app that should make maintenance easy for you, like I said before. So that's definitely a pro. Alright, so this is the map of the new construction. So you can see this area right here is the area of new construction that we need to add wireless access to. These 3 dots here are the wireless access points, and the yellow area around it is the range that's going to extend to. So as you can see, we have the range worked out so that every area is covered, and they're not overlapping too much, because they could interfere with each other if they're too close together, and if they're too far apart you could have dead areas where you don't have any signal. It's really slow. So we definitely don't want any of those dead spots. And up here in the corner is the switch, the new switch. That's where the existing switch is, so we're just going to add the new one right there. It should be the best place for it. But the timeline that we're looking at, in February, we sourced the devices and ordered them, so that's all good. In March, we're looking at running the new Ethernet cable and installing the access points, and sometime in April we can install the switch. So we should be done by May, so you're looking at like 2 months for that, depending on when all the equipment gets here. For our budget, we have the wireless access points, all 3 of those. That's going to be $537. The power over Ethernet switch that we've chosen is $379. Our cables and connectors together are going to be around $200, maybe a little less depending on how much Ethernet cable we use. Not totally sure how much that's going to be yet. The labor estimated about 40 hours at $25 an hour, $1,000-ish. So the total I have on here right now is around $2,100, but it could be anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500, somewhere in that range, depending on any issues that we run into, or I mean, maybe everything will go fabulous and it'll be a lot faster than we think. You just never know. So, that was my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, or suggestions, or if you want to add something else, whatever you think. But thank you for listening to my presentation. Have a great day.